you.
After causing calluses on clicking fingers far and wide on PC, Diablo 3 has come to console and swapped the mice and keyboards for gamepads. The result is an experience that feels significantly different. Clicking the screen to guide your heroes around isn't the same as having direct control of their movements with a thumbstick, though whether you think one control method or the other is better is purely a matter of personal preference. Diablo 3 on console also doesn't look as sharp as the PC original, but the impact of the atmospheric art design is undiminished. Most importantly, Diablo 3 on console still makes slaughtering thousands of monsters good fun, especially if you're doing so with a few friends.
You won't survive that!
You choose from one of 5 character classes, and though they become quite distinct at later levels, they all start with nothing but basic offensive skills. That may sound dull, but the rapid rate at which you acquire new skills is part of what makes Diablo 3 so hard to pull yourself away from. You very quickly open up slots for new types of abilities. Choosing one skill always means not choosing another, since the number of buttons you can assign skills to is always equal to the number of active skill categories you've unlocked. But you can change your selected skills at any time, giving you free rein to tinker with your abilities until you find a combination you're happy with. It's not all about unlocking skills, however, it's about employing those skills to slaughter the monsters you encounter as you travel the world and collecting the loot the fiends drop. This is where Diablo 3's habit-forming pleasures lie. All of the game's diverse locations have one thing in common: they're crawling with monsters. In the early stages of your quest, on normal difficulty, most monsters fall to your attacks without putting up too much of a fight, though if you get swarmed, you might still need to keep an eye on your health. And your attacks look mighty and effective, which makes the simple act of unleashing them feel empowering. Without fail, you're rewarded for mowing down monsters with gold and gear. This is typical of the series and the genre, but it's handled here as well as it's ever been. You never feel like you're being showered with riches and items you haven't earned, nor that you're having to slog through too many foes to earn anything significant. Loot is doled out at a pace that makes your victories fulfilling, and makes fighting the next group of foes lurking in the shadows ahead nigh irresistible. The cycle of combat and loot and more combat is addictive, but without peril it would eventually become unfulfilling. Thankfully, the hosts of hell become increasingly dangerous over time. Boss fights are numerous and frequent, and those that bring each act to a close can be quite challenging. Each class has the offensive capabilities to take on the forces of darkness alone, and the 3 AI companions you can choose from offer a helping hand and a sense of camaraderie to solo adventurers. But joining with up to 3 other players makes for a far more interesting dynamic. Players can cooperate either locally or online, but while both options are enjoyable, local co-op is quite restrictive, and the interface slows things down. All players must stay on the same screen, and whenever a player accesses his or her inventory, skills, or some other menu, it takes up the entire screen, leaving other players with nothing to do but wait until he or she is done. But nonetheless, in local and particularly in online co-op, combat is significantly different and a great deal more fun. On console, as on PC, Diablo 3 is a very safe game. It never diverges from the path carved by its predecessors and the numerous loot-driven hack-and-slash dungeon crawlers they inspired. But Diablo 3 also proves that when done well, this classic formula can still be absorbing. The powerful abilities of the diverse character classes are fun to use, the world is varied and enticing, and the constant promise of more riches and better gear makes conquering that next group of foes an alluring prospect indeed.